Tres. Rabbi Yossi Smierc was born in Argentina and studied in Central Yeshiva Tomchei Temimim Lubavitch from 1990 until 2000 to become a rabbi. Then he was a rabbi at the Chabad in Bolivia from 2001 until 2004. Then he decided, enough from Bolivia, let's move to Miami, the good life. So he became the rabbi of Young Israel in Sunny Isles from 2005 until 2007. But in the middle of that job, he also became the rabbi and director of Kspace Miami, a position he holds until this very day. But you may be wondering, hey, what is Kspace Miami? Well, according to Kspace website, it says the following, and let me read it. Our goal is to offer an open space for young adults to relax and have a good time while providing them with a path of enlightenment and tradition among a Jewish environment in order to awaken and strengthen their Jewish identity. With a board that is composed entirely of young adults, we're able to reach the youth by understanding them through our entertaining and meaningful weekly events. We're committed to offering a means that will ignite the spiritual light found within every young Jewish soul. But before I talk too much about Kspace, I really believe that a better idea will be if the rabbi and director of Kspace, Rabbi Yossi Smierc, tell us what really is this organization. Rabbi Yossi, welcome, and thank you for your time. What is Kspace?
Thank you so much. Okay, so first, I want to thank so much for the opportunity of being part of this program. Number two, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story and what is the mission of Kspace. And what is Kspace, number three. Kspace, we built the organization thanks to God, because everything happened for a reason. Years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago, when, like you mentioned before, I was the rabbi in Young Israel, we saw that there was, me and my wife, we saw that there was something missing in the community, in the Jewish community in Florida. And then we realized not only in Florida, but in the country, in the United States, and even in the world. And missing a place where the young people can meet, can interact one with each other, where they feel home, a place where they can just dress the way they want. Of course, by keeping the good model of modesty, but they do whatever you want. Doesn't matter which language you speak. If you were married before and got divorced, if you were engaged and you broke your engagement, if you're missing friends, if you need a job, if you need any spiritual guiding, whether you want to learn more about your roots, it was missing. Actually, in Argentina, the country where I come from, there is few organizations that they do very similar as us, which is helping young Jewish people to connect each other. And I really like very much the way they do there. And that's how we started. We copy the same kind of model from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and also Sao Paulo, Brazil, the organizations there. And I started slowly to implement those programs in the community. First, as a rabbi of Young Israel, using the ballroom that was always empty. And then we moved to a small office, and then from the small office to a bigger office, and then to a store. And then in 2009, we moved to the waterways in Aventura, 2011, sorry, where we really established our really strong organization. And the growth since then until today is incredible. The numbers of thousands of young Jewish people. Our mission is to provide them anything they need in order to be successful in life. And also, the most important is to create Jewish homes. We live in a time that the young people are single, don't want to make commitments, It's not just the dating or not dating, it's just the next step. And a very difficult generation now, many singles. So we prefer to give the young people the opportunity of learning also the importance of building Jewish homes. So in 2 words, 2 things that describe Kspace. Number one, a home away from home, or a second home, and or a family, second family, and number two, build Jewish families, the future.
Amazing, amazing, Rabbi Yossi. Thanks for sharing that. I think you said it even better than the website. And Rabbi Yossi, you were talking about Jewish homes. We know that I think in Jewish tradition, I may be wrong, they say that if you make 3 shiduchim, that is, you build 3 people that they marry and they have a Jewish home, that you go to heaven, to Olam Haba. How many times have you won heaven?
That's a question that everybody asks. I think we have to be very modest, because if maybe someone else will take my job and God will give maybe the same tools that gave to my wife and to me, they probably they will achieve more and better than us. We have to be always humble. And also I heard once a rabbi who told me something very true, that when we pass away, we go to the heaven, and God is there, sitting in the throne of justice, and He asks, how much did you accomplish? So what I want to say, okay, we have 200 couples that got married. So excited, no? Look what I did. And God can answer, but I gave you the tools to do 1,000 couples. Of course, we need to always be happy whatever we accomplish, but in those things of spiritual growth and goal, I think we need to always look for more. Different with physicality, for materialism. In materialism, you always need to be happy whatever you own. You make a parnasa, you make a good salary, you get $2,000 a month. Be happy. Don't complain that everybody's doing $4,000 or $5,000. Just be happy. But in those things, that is kindness, helping others, and special and spirituality, we need to always desire. We have to have the desire to achieve more. So 3 couples, you go to heaven. He's waiting for someone who doesn't have the tools, doesn't have the time, doesn't have any connection, and he help a couple to get married. And that's beautiful. A couple, 1 couple, 2 couples, 3 couples. But for someone who has this organization running for years, and a staff that we are so blessed with, the best staff of young people helping us, and a board of directors and donors and supporters, and my wife. So to be able to achieve what we achieve, I think it's not enough. I think we need to do more and more and more and more. We can't rest.
Amazing answer, Rabbi Yossi. We love your humility. How much you have achieved until now, the organization in general?
So, so far, we have 105 maybe couples that they got married. Some on the way to get engaged very soon, B'ezrat Hashem. Many children were born from those couples. We have a database of young people that they are kind of, we can call active, because they come to a few events of the year, or every other event, like more than 4,000 people, young people. Many left because they got married, or because they moved to another country or another city. But we're still reaching more and more. We also, thanks God, we were able to open our network not only to Miami, but everywhere in the world, especially in the US, and in countries like close border countries like Mexico, Canada, Panama, but thanks God, but again, like I told you before, I think we have a lot of more to achieve.
That's great, but you have achieved a lot. Still more, I know, Rabbi Yossi, but you have achieved a lot. Congratulations. And Rabbi Yossi, could you tell us the best story of a shidduch in Kspace?
Oof. Let me show you something quickly. This is a couples that they got married from Kspace.
Okay.
Baruch Hashem. We have many stories. I think that just by looking at the picture, so I have 105 stories to share with you. There's so many. Maybe one of the most beautiful. All of the stories are incredible. But for example, there is a couple that it was from. Actually, let me remember. It came from Argentina, and she is a U.S. American girl, and they met the first time in a Shabbat dinner, one of our Shabbat dinners we have every week, and I thought that they were very close to each other, like right away. I was very impressed, but then I find out that the girl didn't want to continue. And I asked why. She said it was too intense. Like at the first date, he told me already, I think we're gonna have children together, we're gonna have a family together. So the guy's crazy. So I called the guy and asked what's going on, what happened. He said, I know I'm crazy. I love her so much. From the first moment I met her, I really like her. The problem is that I never feel what I felt this time, and I feel the connection, and right away I open my mouth, and maybe I made a mistake, and now I scare her. She doesn't want to continue. So I'm going back to Argentina because my mother passed away there, and I feel like I really feel that I need to be back with my father, and I feel bad for to leave because I know that she's the right person. I know I have a feeling. So I said to him, listen, I have an idea. Before you go to Argentina, what happens if you write a letter to the Rebbe? We have a tradition in Chabad world that after the passing away of a holy person, in this case, the Rebbe of Lubavitch, we still connect through the books that he wrote. So, for example, we write a letter with our signature, and we take one of the books without looking at the volume, because like thousands of books, and especially it's like 36 volumes of the holy letters. It's called the holy letters. And you pick up a book, you put the letter inside without checking, without seeing, and then you open, and there's a letter that the Rebbe wrote to someone maybe 50, 60, 70 years ago. But we believe in the divine providence, that everything happened for goodness and for a reason. And why you open that book and you open that page, it gotta be a sign from above. You know, people do it a lot with Chumashim also, with the Torah. So I told him, do it. The day before the flight, he was supposed to fly the morning on the next day, so he came in the night before. He has a ticket, he was ready to go. His father was waiting for him. He came to my office, we opened Emigrated College, the holy book, and the Rebbe says in the letter to someone, when you know that something is good, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, will get involved and will try to disturb and bother you from being successful. And the reason is because when you do something good, God will send you a challenge, you know, and if you overcome the challenge, so you accomplish, you achieve your goals. But if you run away from the problems, it's like giving up. So don't give up. When you know something is good, you continue. And I told him, listen, I think the letter is very clear. Don't go. You have to give her space, give her time, and try a few weeks again. And that's what happened. He stayed, he didn't go, he lost the ticket. And a few weeks later, they try again. He went back and he told her he's apologized. Today they married, they have a beautiful baby.
Wow.
That's one of the stories. But we have many stories.
Wow.
We can be all night talking about the stories of couples that they got married and will never end.
Wow. One more, Josie. One more.
One more.
Story. It was so good. We needed one more at least.
So I have a funny one.
Okay, we like funny.
There was a guy from Panama.
Okay.
Came to visit Miami with a friend for fun for a weekend. And actually original from Venezuela, the guy, but he lives in Panama. And he came to the Shabbat dinner. Most of the stories are Shabbat dinners. Huh?
Yeah.
And I really like to make people feel very warm and welcoming when they come for the first time, special. Always welcoming, but when they come for the first time, I like to introduce to people. I like them to know what's going on, so they come back. If not, they will never come back. He's a nice guy, very nice guy in the 20s, middle 20s. He came with a friend. And I was a little bit crazy back in time. And instead of whatever, introducing to people, in the middle of the meal, I asked him to sing a song. Now, I don't do it anymore because some people told me don't do it again because some people feel uncomfortable. But back in time, I didn't care. So what I used to do, now not anymore, I used to announce, okay, we want to welcome the new people that came for the first time to Kspace, and I mentioned the names. And then I asked any one of them would like to say something. But that was a little bit crazy back in time, and I asked if anyone would like to sing a song. So this guy, there was like 100 people. The house was pretty full. And this guy said, I can sing a song. First time, and I think the last time it was the only time that happened. And everybody was quiet. Then he started singing a song. It was funny. He didn't sing so well, but people were laughing. He was laughing. He's such an open-minded guy, When he left, a girl from Detroit, an American girl, she asked me, who is that guy? I really like. He was so funny. I would like to know if he's single. Oh, no, he's cute. He said, well, maybe it's a good idea. So I didn't have his number. So I went through the Facebook after Shabbat, and I found the guy because I remember the last name. So I found the guy, and I messaged him on Facebook, and he messaged me back. So I told him, listen, there's one girl who really liked the way you sing, and she want to know if you're available for a date. So who's that girl? So I sent the profile, the Facebook profile from the girl. And the guy said right away, yeah, why not? I can take it for a coffee. The same night, Motzei Shabbat, the Saturday night, having the conversation back and forth, he asked me for her number. And I gave her a number. So he invited her for a date right away. And they went for a date. And they got married, they have a baby, and she's expecting very soon the second baby.
Wow, crazy.
Crazy. Oh, Hashem. And I can continue.
Amazing, Rabbi. Always see.
Oh, Hashem.
Wait, Rabbi, now we're not gonna be that funny anymore. We're gonna be a little more
serious,
melancholic, because we're gonna talk about a more serious topic. As we know, Mr. Alberto Galsky, the Father Founder of Kspace, passed away during this pandemic. Could you please tell us the most valuable lessons or stories that you learned from this great man?
Yeah, absolutely. Many things. One of the things he teach me that I really like the most, when we start Kspace, it was very hard for us to raise money. Very, very hard. I didn't know how to raise money, and I'm very embarrassed and shy. So he helped me to get the first donation. And I was so excited that I hugged him and I kissed him. I was crazy. And I left. And he called me back, I want to talk to you. And I went back to his house, and he told me, next time, it was very serious, man. Don't show excitement, even though you you were surprised with the donation or with the contribution. You should be serious, because when someone gives you money, they are telling you, I trust you. And if they trust you that you are mature enough to know how to use that money. So when you jump crazy and kiss, whatever, they may think that you are not mature enough, and the next time they will give you just penny or nothing. So be very serious about the money. And once you get the money, go to the car. And when you drive 2 blocks away, then you can start yelling and crying and crazy do with no one watching you. That's one of the whatever messages he told me. He also told me something very interesting. He says to me, once he told me, many times he told me actually that. He says to me, I'm the most intelligent man in the world. I said, what? He said, I tell you why. Honestly, I don't know nothing. But one thing I know, I try to be friends with people that has knowledge in specific things. So for example, a doctor, a dentist, an engineer, an architect, a bookkeeper. I always try to have that connection and the best that I can, because when I need to make a decision in, for example, in building something, so who I will call? My friend who I trust, who is an architect and is the best architect. If I have I have a pain in one of my teeth, I call my friend who is a dentist, who is the best dentist I know. So don't make decisions by your own, never. Open your network when you have to make decision, and those people will help you to make the decision, because they're more smart than you in the field, in them field. So listen to them. And it's cool because in Judaism, we learn that the most you learn Torah, more humble you become. You know that you don't know nothing and you need to improve. You need to learn more. You need to educate yourself more. Be humble will help you. Being humble will help you to really achieve more and to let others help you. Also, when we opened Kspace the first time, we started first programs. He was very into the young people because of his children. And one of the things he told me that that it has to be a place where the young people can do whatever they feel they want to do, comfortable. So he gave me actually a house, his home, and he asked me to do an event. And the event was very successful. But the problem was, it was very successful. The problem was at the event that there was so many people that destroyed the house. So then he told me, we need to rent a store for Kspace. And that's how we started.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a crazy story, Rabbi.
Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. Rabbi, where do you see Kspace in 20 years? And do you see yourself in Kspace in 20 years?
Good question. I think every country and every city where there is a major number of Jewish families, they need a Kspace. They need a place for the young people. The problem is that you need to have the right rabbis who understand the young people. It's not just a regular rabbi or leader, community leader. It's important a rabbi because they have someone with spirituality, that they can have the spirituality and in every aspect of the organization. It's not a business. It's a non-profit. But at the same time, it needs to be like a kind of a business cup, business mind, because you need to know to make this happen. I think in 20 years, cities like New York, LA, even Chicago, Baltimore, Utah, they need to have a center for young Jewish people like us. They need it. But we need to educate the rabbis who are willing to get involved. And it's not just the rabbi, more important, the wife of the rabbi, because required of an entire life. You're putting everything on the side, and of course your children come first, but the children will absorb from this. They will take, they will be part of this. My kids grew with Kspace, and maybe they also will be in the future leaders with their wife or the husband, but it's up to the wife and the husband. It's a couple, it's a partner. But that's my dream. I think my dream is to help every major Jewish community, even in South America, even in Europe, take the model of Kspace and use it for the organizations there, for the community.
Wow, amazing. Have you think about training people?
I think we should train people, like a school. Yes. That's a dream, maybe far away, far away. We're still trying to keep the organization running in Miami. But if we will have the money enough to run the organization without any more warriors and financial warriors, so the next step should probably be training rabbis and community leaders to open in every city, major Jewish community cities, a Kspace.
Amazing. We hope that with the help of God,
Amen, amen.
Sooner
Maybe Mashiach, hopefully Mashiach comes before.
Oh.
But still, in the meantime, we need to think about
it. And Rabbi, can you tell for the people who are listening, how are these trips that you do to hotels like for a weekend when you take a lot of young adults? Because Kspace is from age 18 to 35, right?
Right.
And you do like these kind of trips or Shabbat dinners, as the crazy stories you told us. Can you tell us more about those type of activities so people who are listening know, hey, I like this type of activity, maybe I could go to Kspace?
Yes, absolutely. We have, before the COVID was a little bit more active with the programs during the week. Now that we're using the outdoors of Kspace, we're getting back into the same programs. We have the weekly programs from Torah Learning every Wednesday, like now very soon we start in Kspace. But also we have the Friday night dinners and the Shabbat lunch, where we used to have guest speakers on Tuesday. Now we're using Zoom. We do it online. Hopefully soon we're gonna be back physical. We also have something called Virtual Connections, which is also online. Because of the COVID, we started a very cool program. It's a speed dating for young people. We put them together according to the age and the religious level. And we do half and half, like half guys, half girls, and 10 guys, 10 girls, for example. And they have 5 minutes to meet between each other, one-on-one. But also we have a bigger event, like the Shabbat Gala we have 2 weeks ago, with almost 400 young Jewish people outdoors, outside. And Shabbat Gala, it's called Black Tie Shabbat. We already have done 6 years in a row. We have something very cool. It's the Shabbaton International that you mentioned. It's like 185 to 200 young Jewish people, only singles in the ages that you mentioned before. And we rent part of our very nice hotel resort, like Hyatt Regency, Waldorf Astoria in Naples, Marriott in Key Largo, Hilton in Key Largo.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's very fancy. We young people pay, but they pay probably 50% of the cost, and we raise from donors the rest of the money, or we try to raise the rest of the money. And also we have we have on Sunday, sometimes we have barbecues outside. Then we have the biggest event of the year, like Purim and Hanukkah. In Purim, we always rent nightclubs. We close for us, and we throw a party with our DJ. But now with the COVID, we're doing outdoors, outside Kspace. We rent furniture, couches, bars, and we bring bartenders. We are doing everything outdoors, outside. Purim, the same Hanukkah, the first week of the year, like January 3rd was a Sunday, so we have a barbecue. We bring a grill and a bartender and a DJ. And then also we have the Jewish holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah. We build a big sukkah outside. We make a barbecues outdoors. And those events are more for the young people who want to celebrate and they need a place to celebrate the Jewish holidays. But we always try to only focus on young people. It's not like a synagogue. We don't want to be considered a synagogue because there are thousands of synagogues in Miami. We want to consider the home for the young Jewish people. And because the young Jewish people need a place to pray for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, or Pesach, Passover, so therefore we do those Jewish holidays here at Kspace.
Oh, amazing, amazing, Rabbi. So people can choose from like 10,000 activities you just said. They can go to one, to two, to all of them. That's great. And Rabbi, I know we're running a little bit out of time. So I want to end this wonderful interview with the following question. Rabbi Yossi, what is your message for the young Jewish people of Florida?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This world is a beautiful world. Sometimes everything looks dark. Sometimes we feel frustration and we want to give up. And that's actually a big mistake. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of commitment. Don't be afraid of the refusing of no if you want to date someone, you like someone. And also, something very important is you have to value yourself. You have to look at the mirror and see how good you are, but at the same time, how imperfect you are if you want to meet someone. Because we're always looking for the young people, they're always looking for the most beautiful girls or beautiful guys, and they don't look at the mirror and they don't see that you're not perfect. Why are you looking for perfection? And not only that, let's say you find someone perfect. You know what the problem is? What can you give to that person if he's so perfect? Where is a trophy? So don't be afraid of commitment. Don't be afraid of participate and be part of the community. Don't be afraid of being a Jew outside, not only inside. Don't be afraid. Enjoy being young, but also take advantage of the so many opportunities that God is putting in your life.
Amazing, amazing.
I see a lot of singles in the late already 40s or 50s that they have many opportunities and they let it go. And we live in a generation that is even worse. It's growing more, the loneliness and being picky and be afraid of the commitment. You go in an airplane for fun and you're gonna jump with a parachute from the sky to the earth. It's fun, it's cool, it's an adventure. Do it. Very few die. You will enjoy it. Don't be afraid of jumping. Don't be afraid of commitment.
Wow.
And there's one more thing also that I can add if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure.
The most beautiful thing in life, the most important thing in life are your children, your wife or your husband, but then the most important are really the children because they are part of your blood. And there is no explanation. You cannot explain. Me as a father, I will never be able to explain the love for my children. There's no limitation. And there's, okay, I love them, $1 million. I love them, 10 million. I will give my life for each one of my children. So if you know that your children are the most important thing in life, my question is, why are you waiting so long to bring those children to the world if they are so important? because your job, because your money, because the house, because the visa, because of what? Everything is a nonsense. Number one. And number two, if you're bringing children to the world and they are the most important thing in life, make sure that those children are good people. You cannot be sure if they're going to be good people because up to God. But one thing you know, the kids, they look like the parents. In the behavior, in the face, in the body, in the way of thinking, the way of speech. They are like a mirror. They look at us. We look at them and some of them look at us. If you're going to choose a wife or a husband, make sure that they are good people. What do you care if they are beautiful or no, if they are intelligent or no? Make sure they are good people because your kids need to be good people. They're not going to be very, very beautiful, very pretty. Who cares? They're going to be good people. That's the most important. Don't be afraid and be smart at the time of choosing your partner.
And be happy even though you're ugly.
Always.
That's the main.
We have a lot of good plastic surgeon in Miami.
No, amazing, amazing message, Rabbi. I love every part, but I love the part when you said that we're always looking for a perfect person. But yeah, we look in the mirror and look at this, even my hair is horrible. Like, why do we give to the perfect person? And you said like a trophy. Yeah, that may be the most we can give.
When I show everybody, look, I have this beautiful girl with me. She's gonna be the mother of your children. Remember. Thank you. And whatever you need, I'm here for you always.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. Thank you so much for your time, for accepting the invitation to Jewish
Always, Armando. I'm here for you. Anything you need, you can always count on me.
Thank you, Rabbi. And I invite everyone on behalf of the Rabbi, even though I didn't ask his permission, to go once in their lives to Kspace. They're not going to regret it now that they're getting back to normal in this.
Yeah. Our website is kspace.org. We have a lot of programs. Purim now is coming. We have a lot of activities on Purim, outdoors, outside, and also Pesach, then, and many more things going on.
Amazing. Kspace.org. KSPACE.org.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Welcome. You're the best, Armando.
Bye, you too.